Real Talk 101. The topic of today's live show is
gun control. Hello guys, and welcome to the first real broadcast of Real Talk 101, debates, diversity, and educational topics. So this show will be happening every Thursday right here at Michigan State University, which is home of the Spartans. Go green.
Go white.
That is the spirit. So we have a wonderful lineup available for you guys today. We have a live debate that I'm going to be debating with you guys live on the air. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments on our broadcast. That way I can answer them to the best of my ability. So the debate's going to work a little different this time because I don't have no participants this time. I'm going to be giving my insights on gun control. Then I'll be giving the educational topic followed by, my announcements at the end. So without further ado, let's get with the main topic for today. We're going to be talking about gun control. Gun control is not a new issue. It's been going on ever since, 2012, ever since Sandy Hook, actually. Ever since Sandy Hook and the Florida mass shooting that just occurred on Valentine's Day, and the Chicago shooting and the Orlando shooting. It's just a lot to take in at one time. So the question that's up for speculation is, should all Americans be subjected to background checks in order to buy a gun? Well, there's a simple question, or there's a yes and a no. And the reason there's a yes and a no is because it depends on the type of person, it depends on their criminal history and whether or not they have mental health issues or not. So, for example, most of the people that committed these mass shootings, like the one in Orlando, they had mental issues to the point where they killed themselves along with the people that they killed, which was kind of ridiculous, bold, right? But then at the same time, you have people who don't have mental health issues who committed these mass crimes. And it's kind of discouraging because it lets our society know that we're not safe as long as criminals have access to guns. So I do believe that there should be background checks for guns, especially for people who are not in this country, because it's a known fact that they're all dangerous. Most of them are dangerous, especially if you're allowing immigrants in this country. Even Donald Trump says we support better background checks against individuals in order to buy guns, and that's something I heard him say supportive ever since that football incident that happened a few months ago. But we're not going to talk about that. But gun control, yeah, there's a yes and a no to it. It depends on the type of person. It depends on whether they have behavior issues or not. And quite frankly, it's really will come down to the law. Like, how does the law handle these types of situations? Because if you look at the Trayvon Martin case, or you look at the Sandra Bland case, and you see race plays a huge role in this. So, for example, Trayvon Martin was killed by a white man because he claimed to be dangerous because he was claiming to be reaching for a gun by a community watch member known as George Zimmerman. So that case went on for about a year and a half. The man was never indicted for that crime, and that sparked a lot of riots and stuff out here. And then you look at the Michael Brown case, which is similar to the Trayvon Martin case, where the white police officer pulls out his gun and shoots him because he thought Michael Brown was reaching for a gun. That also comes down to gun control. Like, what is being done to eliminate this issue? And one thing that the government says is to do background checks. And I think that's one thing that needs to be implemented quickly, and it needs to be implemented fast before more people get killed. So that's really my insights on this issue. If you have any further questions, or if you would like to debate in the comments, I can debate with y'all after this show. I'll be doing a little Q&A. If you guys like my intro, please give it a like. I think it's nice, and I think it's beautiful. So that covers gun control. I know this is a sensitive topic, but it needs to be talked about because no one hardly talks about it here on this campus. And I feel like that it should be talked about more because you have more people, especially teenagers, who get killed over these mass killings. So I think it's necessary for this to be talked about. So enough about that. So we're going to be moving to our educational topic for today. Now, educational topics are really like anything that has anything to do with college students that affects them, that has a toll on them, or just or there's a problem in college that needs to be addressed. One of them is mental health on campus. So college is a whole nother experience than what you experienced in high school. Is that right? And the reason I say that is most kids don't go off to college. Maybe after high school they find a part-time job, or they go to the Army or to the Coast Guard or the Job Corps. They do other things to go to college. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you should really take the experience in. But if you happen to take the experience in and you get stressed out, I want you to know it's okay to get stressed out in college. I'm struggling with 5 classes, totaling a total of 14 credits right now. And I'm not doing well in 3 of those 5 classes. And it has put a stress on me because I thought I could take on 5 classes the spring semester versus 4 in the fall semester. But I said I would take myself to the challenge, and this has been quite the challenge for me. So how do I deal with the stress and anxiety that comes from this? Well, I go to an advisor, to see my possible options. I have a mentor. Her name is Kalia Butler. She's a student here at Michigan State that graduated. She's actually in graduate school at University of Michigan. So I'm really real proud of her, because without her, I would have gave up a long time ago if it wasn't for her. But she continued to keep going. She even found me a trigonometry tutor. So she is an idol. She's an idol. I'll have to invite her on the air one day so we can just debate another topic for the Thursday after next. I'll make sure they can in contact with her. Anyway, it's important to find yourself a mentor. If you feel yourself overwhelming and the pressure just building up, don't let it build up inside of you. Take the time out of the day, just to relax and be you. I mean, you got to do that at some point. You can't just be all focused on academics all the time. And most people are focused on academics, but not on their personal life. That is ridiculous, And that leads to dropouts. That leads to failing classes, which is why they implemented progress reports here at MSU, which is a great tool to get you out of academic probation, in case you are on that. So what are the resources that are available? Well, Michigan State and other colleges have psychological resources. They have a psychologist office you can go to, talk about your problems. They have mentors, they have support groups. They have something just for about every student here on a college campus. So if you find yourself in desperate need of help, you need to talk to someone. That's pretty much it. But how to cope with that? You just got to be strong. You have to keep your faith in Jesus. If you're not trying to bring religion into this, but if you believe in Jesus, Jesus will do a lot of things for you. But I'm not trying to bring religion in here or anything. I'm not trying to get into no fights or anything on religion. But you should talk. You should really go talk to him. So that really covers. I know this is a fast podcast, but I only have this room for 30 minutes, which kind of sucks. But as a wrap up, I talked about gun control. I talked about the effects of gun control. I talked about examples, statistics on gun control and how it should be, what should be done about it. And the answer, my straight out answer is go ahead with the background checks, because people will do anything to get a gun, even fake identities to get them clear background checks, which is kind of stupid. So the answer, in my opinion, is to implement better background checks. That way, this community can be much safer. And it can be much safer at a time when we teach our young kids not guns are bad. It can be good in some ways, like protecting a home or something, but at the same time, you cannot have a gun in the house. It leads to violence. Let's just face it. And then I talked about mental health on campus. Your mental health plays a vital role in how you succeed on a college campus. So if you find yourself struggling with a class, or you find yourself not doing well in a class, you need to talk to someone who can relate to you. Find a mentor, find friends on the campus that are in the same situation as you, and just try to work things out. Don't take on too many classes like I did. I took 5 classes thinking I could do 5 classes, but it proves to be the worst challenge I've ever faced, which is why I'm sticking only to 4 classes from now on. But at least I'll be in a sophomore status, and I still won't be a freshman when I get out of this school year. Because they go by credits to seeing what grade are you based on how many credits you are, which I think is kind of stupid, but I guess it's their rules, but whatever. I just want to be out of freshman status going into the second year of college. That looks so bad. So I talked about mental health. So that really wraps it up. I have a couple of announcements regarding next week. As you all know, colleges have spring break, which I'm going to be taking a break from this podcast, whoop whoop, just for this week, so I can wrap my thoughts together, get everything lined up for the next live broadcast later on in the semester. I'll be available every Thursday here at the Union at Michigan State University. It provides a great study place for me. I study here all the time, and I love to do stuff here. So there will be no podcasts in observance of spring break. That's my word. But be on the lookout for Friday for the preview of what's coming up next week on the audio podcast on Apple, Google Play, and the Anchor podcast app, which you guys should really try out. It's really fun. So that kind of wraps it up. I will see you all not next Thursday, but the Thursday after spring break. Make sure you go relax on spring break and don't just sit around doing nothing. Actually go out and explore the world. Explore everything. Okay, maybe I'm just over-exaggerating just a little bit. Anyway, that goes for today's podcast. Remember, you can follow this Facebook page. It'll be updated mainly with debates up for discussion. I'll implement that. And coming up to this broadcast, Thursday after next, I'll be doing scholarship opportunities, where I will be going over scholarships that are currently trending, which ones you should apply for, tips and strategies on how to win the scholarships from a scholarship winner. I did win a scholarship of $1,200. It was $1,200 from the Delta sorority, but that's my next segment that I'm going to be including next Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. Also, be on the lookout for schemes for scholarships. I'll be going over those the Thursday after next, and hopefully, I will have debaters on side by side next to me, helping me debate the next topic, which will be colorism and racism. What's the difference? You can follow me on Instagram at MSU_Sparty99 and on Facebook at Facebook.com/RealTalk1855. That's a catchy URL. And I will see you all Thursday after next. Peace.
And this concludes Real Talk 101 with Julian Steinbeck. Tune in next time for the next debate topic, which will be known by the man Juju himself. See you next time on Real Talk 101.